Hey man, what's up? Welcome to today's video. This is Layman's Terms Academy, and today I have a very special topic for us, right? And today I'm going to discuss success, right? Success, right? So we say that success is subjective, right? And then we ask ourselves, well, what does success look like from where we stand? Now, there's only three breakdowns here within this world. You're either in poverty, you're either middle class, or you are rich or wealthy. That's the only three that's here, right? Now, I'm going to break this down for y'all into something else that's just a little bit more like, right? So, bang. What we have right here is this, right? Remember the question, what does success look like from where you stand? So I'm going to break down each of these through each of these classes, right? So the first class we're going to start off with is poverty, right? Right. Most people who live in poverty, right? I'm gonna change up the marker for y'all. But most people who live in poverty, they recognize success, right? People in poverty recognize success, right? Through what? Things, right? Through things, right? By what? What they are able to see, right? Right? That's why most people who live in poverty, they care about material things. They care about what you have on. They care about what kind of car you're driving. They care about how you look. And they care about, that's pretty much all that they care about, right? That's why there's a lot of fake shit. That's why people wear a lot of, fake clothes and fake designers and all types of shit like that, right? So now we're going to attack the second, right? Right here, the middle class, right? Right. So we have this. All right, middle class. Now, you got to remember that people in middle class already have what? Money, right? They're already financially stable, right? So what's something that people in middle class care about? Well, if people in middle class don't care about clothes and they don't really care about material things, how many times do you travel, right? And you go to different places and you see that their car is any kind of car. They don't really care what kind of car it is, but their house is really nice, right? And the schools they go to is really nice, and the opportunities that they have is really nice, right? So what is it that they care about? Well, you start to notice that a lot of people who are middle class citizens, they care about status, right? Most of them care about how they look, right? How they look, right? It's no more do you have the money or do you have enough things? It's all about what, right? All they care about is fitting in, right? Most of them want to fit in. And most of people, right, especially young kids and young adults, what they do is they pretend that they have less than. They pretend that they come from this poverty environment, and they actually don't, right? Why? Because they care about the status that is associated with people who live in poverty, right? That is middle class, most of your middle class thinking within the society, right? And then the last one you have is what? You have rich, right? You have rich, right? Or you have wealth. Now, the people who are rich or wealthy, they have financial stability. They have the status already, because in order to obtain any of this, someone in their family probably accomplished some type of fame, some type of success, some type of acknowledgement, some type of business, something that is a representation of their status. So they, right, they have already accomplished this, as well as they have already accomplished the financial dependency that you will need, right? So what do rich people care about? Rich people care about power. That's what rich people care about. Rich people care about control. They care about how much can they control, right? That's all that they care about, right? So while the people in poverty are chasing things, and they're chasing the things that they are able to see in order to be successful, right? That's what they chase. They chase what they're able to see. Most people who are in poverty, their priorities are really fucked up. right? They care about how they look. They care about the things that they have. They don't really care about or even are informed enough to know about what it takes to be in middle class, right? Most people in middle class, they have their priorities together. They probably have a good paying job. You know, they have enough money to live comfortably and do those things. But there's something more, because we're all humans, right? And all humans who live on this motherfucking earth, we always want something more. So what is something that money cannot buy? Money cannot buy status. Money can put you in a position of having a status, but money cannot buy people to do what? Like you. You can have money and not be like it. You can have money and not be liked. You can have money and not be accepted, right? And most people in poverty are accepted, right? Because we all are going through, the same shit. Why? Because we are all what? Broke. We are all broke. So the way we live our lives, the sacrifices we make, our day-to-day decisions are very similar because we are all fucked up and broke, right? So the people in middle class, they want to be liked. They want to be accepted. Most people in middle class, they want a status, their names. I don't know how many times I met people who live in middle class or are financially stable, that when they introduce themselves, they say their first and their last names. Oh yes, I am Tucker Leonard. Yep, I am Tucker Leonard. I'm from this place and that place. Yes, that's how they are. That's what it is. Now again, people who are rich and wealthy already have these things. They have the status. They have the things. They have the financial stability. They already had that. They want power and control. Why? Because they want to be able to do what? Do this forever. They want to continue to be on top. They want to continue to control the whole game. They want to continue to control the whole board. This is what the rich and the wealthy wants. This is what the rich and the wealthy wants control. The middle class people wants status. The people in poverty, they want things, right? So let's do a recap. Poverty, right, are what? Things, right? Middle class, right, want what? Status. And then the rich and wealthy, they want what? Power. Essentially control.